I wanted to come to Oxford because of all the talent that's here for someone like me to work with. But as soon as I got here, I saw a need for change. A real need. Not just for change, but for a new kind of theatre. What I'm now calling supra-experimental theatre.
How do they react to this kind of stuff, Adrian?
Well, in the theatre, the loudest noise is silence. I've always enjoyed being surrounded by the things and people that inspire me and that I admire. Personally, I'm a bitheist, and that means I believe in the importance of having two gods. I really do believe this. I think everyone needs a calming, loving, caring, friendly god that makes them feel wanted, and for me, that's the Dalai Lama. But that's not enough. Everyone needs another god, someone or something that makes them want to get up, get out, go, seize the day, take the world, that sets them on fire. And for me, well, for me, that's always been Sting. Of all the albums I bought last year, I think this is my favourite. It's really seen the most listens, and that's because it gets my creativity going, which, after all, is what music is for. But more than that, it embodies something I think is really intriguing about art, and that's incomprehensibility. I've been looking at this and wondering, is it pop for party? Or pop party for? Can we know? My parents own a construction business, which my father built from scratch, and my sister is now poised to take over. And obviously I owe them a great deal. I too am building something from nothing, but that's the point. I came to Oxford with nothing. And it's only by really reaching out to some pretty important theatre luminaries that I've been able to have what success I had. I really owe certain people a great deal. Among them, Jim Broadbent, Colossus of the stage, who, when we met, seemed to express a real interest in what I'm doing here. But most of all, really, it's Kevin, Kevin Spacey, who's just been, well, put it this way, he's a great guy. So, when an audience comes to one of my productions, what they see is not a show, per se, but an idea on the stage. Experimental idea theatre. Ideator. The theatre of ideas. But for a long time, my ideas and I were two halves of a whole. We weren't getting along. But it was then that I finally found my ideas space. The space where I have ideas. No. Well, I don't know if you got that. It's quite embarrassing, sort of having my personal friendships captured like that. Me and Abdul are actually quite good mates. Because I think it's important to maintain a relationship with people like that. From that level, and I don't mean bottom. What I mean is, it's important for a director to know the people and their lives so that they can, well, know the people and their lives.
So how long have you known Adrien for?
Don't really know him.
The first production that we put on in Oxford was The Eighth Scene, a coming-of-age story about a young girl who manifests her sexual identity for the first time, including a now infamous scene where she has sex with a boat, something no director had attempted before. And the Eighth Sea itself was a sort of a metaphor for the world beyond what she thought was possible, just sort of over the horizon, always over there. And the feel of the thing was consistently maritime. Then we made Axe to Grind, a coming-of-age story about a bisexual teenage lumberjack who, over the course of the play, learns about himself against the backdrop of the Canadian wilderness. And the axe, which grows larger as the play goes on, represents his growing sexual confidence. But more than that, it also represented his situation, his past, and his family's past. And so, at the play's conclusion, ultimately, it must be replaced with the chainsaw. It was here that the idea came to me for my new play. I'm calling it A Blade of Grass. Over time, as the weeks went by, I noticed something. I noticed that grass grows like people grow. And I thought, if I hadn't noticed this, if I didn't know this, then how many other people haven't noticed this? And I've always been on a search for the untold stories. And here was an untold story, and I thought, well, if I can put the life of a blade of grass on the stage and represent that blade of grass with a person, well, then someone could walk out of that show with a real profound new appreciation for grass. And that's important. I think it's really vital that the process of putting together this play is documented. It's a rare insight into the rich and storied world of Oxford, a world of kings and queens, heads of state and great minds. So many real paragons of theatre have made their names here that I really think it's vital for people to maybe see this and understand this place, understand what we do here, understand us.
Trust me, I'm never